Hello and welcome to my channel here. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of mid-month reading because we're about kind of halfway through February. So I'm pulling this on February 12th, so it's going to be good through the end of February, but just a little bit about myself. Generally speaking, I'm like early when it comes to readings. Sometimes I'm behind. It's weird. If you really want to get into it, like there like isn't really like true time to it because there's so many factors into it, and there's also like free will and all that. And with reading, you're taking like a snapshot in time. So, you know, what could have been may have already happened. But that's a philosophical discussion for another time. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and shoot for just from now to the end of the month. And it doesn't matter what your sign is. This is for anyone. And to kind of get started here, I felt drawn to read from this book, specifically for today's date. Which is kind of funny because I looked at it earlier and I did make tea, so maybe go make tea or a favorite beverage. So February 12th, making tea. Given sincerity, there will be enlightenment. The doctrine of the mean, 200 BCE. If we stop to truly consider it, making tea is a miraculous process. First, small leaves are gathered from plants that are grown from unseen roots. Then boiling water is drained through the dried leaves. Finally, allowing the mixture to steep creates an elixir that, when digested, can be healing. The whole process is a model for how to make inner use of our daily experience. For isn't making tea the way we cipher through the events of our lives? Isn't the work of sincerity to pour our deepest attention over the dried bits of our days? Isn't patience the need to let the mixture of inner and outer brew until the lessons are fragrant and soothing on the throat? Isn't it the heat of our sincerity that steams the lessons out of living? Isn't it the heat of those lessons that makes us sip them slowly? Yet perhaps the most revealing thing about all this is that none of these elements alone can produce tea. Likewise, only by using them together can we make tea of our days and our sincerity and our patience, and none of it is healing without a willingness to drink from the tea of life. And then there's some little actions here. Slowly and with symbolic care, make a cup of tea. As the tea is steeping, be mindful of your life and how you bring your sincerity and patience to bear on your days. Sip slowly and feel gratitude coat your throat. If you don't drink tea, I'm one of those people that enjoys tea and coffee, just not together because ew. I'm sure you could do coffee because it is, well, certain types of making coffee, the preparation is similar. So, you know, making coffee, but with that same care and attention. But if you don't do coffee or tea, there's other drinks that you could do that with. You could have fun and do like some flavored water with, you know, different herbs or fruits and whatnot. Yeah. Okay, set that down. So it's kind of interesting that we have this kind of thing about making tea and paying attention to the detail and having that care. And then I made tea myself, and then even used like a little teapot with it too. Earlier today, I was on one of my walks, and I noticed that there was a lot going on, like a lot more people than usual, and it just seemed like a lot more like hubbub, and like I picked up on a couple of different things. Some of them are like the normal, usual stuff, so I won't really mention it because it wasn't, eyebrow raising. It's like, okay, that's still normal. But there were a couple of things that I noticed that were just like kind of indicative of like the energy, at least that I'm picking up right now, where it's like was on my walk, and I'm seeing like couples walking their dog, or it's just a couple walking, or it's a couple and their kid and their dog, or it's a couple and a baby. And essentially it kind of broke down into two scenarios. One is, one group of people would, wave and smile and say hello and all that, like, is normal. But then there was another group where the woman would get very, how should I put this? Like she felt or seemed to put off that like jealous thing, and got all, I don't know how else to put it other than weird. Like I also wasn't like I was, wearing nothing while I was out on my walk. Like I was in like my walking outfit, if you will, of like sweatpants, jacket, messy bun, sunglasses. Like I'm not trying to attract anyone on my walks. I'm out here getting sweaty and gross. So it's that thing of, I guess, like that other group where like the woman, I felt like this jealousy feeling from her of like, how to immediately engage directly with, her husband or partner, or however you want to put it, or trying to get the attention of all the people that they're with, and trying to put all the attention on them instead of, me walking by, which I'm like, I don't, when I'm out and about, I was like, I don't really want to be stopped by people. I'm like, leave me alone. So I thought that was interesting because that usually never happens. Most of the time people just, they say hello, they wave, they, just carry on. Sometimes people will stop and chat with me, like the weirdest things, but that's just normal for me. So yeah, that kind of jealousy thing I noticed, so that might be key to what I'm picking up on. A couple other things I've noticed that might come out, just to give you a heads up. Past few days, it might be because of Valentine's Day, it might be because of astrological happenings. A heads up, I am not an astrologer. I just have like a general idea of what's going on. And like my own chart is very, I don't know how to put it. It's, I definitely have all four elements very prominently. So, I usually throw people off anyway, just because I am a Cancer sun, but I do not come across like that because of, even though I have heavy Cancer placements, I have heavy Leo, Capricorn, and some air signs too. So there you go. I'm not gonna like dissect my chart of it. You're not here for that. Anyway, the big thing I wanted to pick up is that things might get to be more of a intimate nature, if you will. So just a heads up, if that comes out, that's something I've picked up on, like I said earlier, that it might be stuff for Valentine's Day, it might be just the stuff going on in general. Just, I have been really picking up on it, and it might be because of how there's a bunch of stuff in Aquarius right now, and with all of my Leo, it's doing stuff that way. It could be because of the Scorpio in my chart. Who knows? So, if if that comes out, just let you know. Try not to alienate anyone, but just the heads up. Anyway, really trying to decide between my two decks of like which one to pull from first. I'm really torn between the two. I know I'm going to use both of my tarot decks. There's one that I'm staring at that I still need to unbox that I feel like in my gut is the one I should be using, but I don't want to turn this into an unboxing and reading video. So it's kind of unsettling that the deck is like making eyes with me. Anyway, I think I'm going to use the Light Seers to start with, and I just want to see what in the world's going on right now and what should we expect from now to the end of the month, so about 2 weeks time. Maybe one more good shuffle. This is my still pretty new deck, so I can already kind of feel it on my hands. I'm just putting it out with feeling, you know, the question I already asked, so I don't need to reiterate. Nope. I don't know if you guys caught that, but a bunch just fell in my lap, so I'm going to take those. Oh, good grief. Okay, hold on. They fell onto the floor. That one was face down, and that one was like that. So let me double check that I have everything. Okay. It looks like I got all of them. So, oh man. I feel like I was almost caught unawares by that, and that just kind of threw me off. Because, like, I was in my zone, and now I'm kind of, like, not in it. No, that one was the last one. I definitely remember seeing that one be face up. So I almost want to say... I'm going to leave that one sideways and that one reverse, and then that feels right. Generally, when you have a I'm a weirdo, and I will read the sideways cards as it's kind of that moment in time when you're flipping a coin, the coin's up in the air, and go one way or the other. It's like Schrodinger's cat. It's that moment of before you open the box. It's neither alive nor dead, and you don't know which. Goodness. I almost feel like it's related to my story of you have the two groups of interactions that I had earlier of the normal hi hello wave and the jealousy, the envy. It's very interesting. I want to see what's at the bottom of the deck. The Four of Pentacles. Okay, well, that's very interesting. Okay, what is coming to me, and it's starting to make sense now, is on this card, and this card, and this card, I am all really drawn to the sky elements, which is funny because, like, the sky you could consider would be air, and we are in Aquarius season. And that is pretty predominant. And I feel like I can say that with some authority because so many people in my life that are friends or past friends are air signs, with the majority of them being Aquarius, so I'm very familiar with Aquarians. I don't have very many Gemini friends, but I do have some Libra. I guess a little fun fact about me, like all of my long-term dating relationships were all with Aquarians, so take that as you will. But yeah, for whatever reason, I'm just really drawn to these clouds. I'm drawn to those clouds. I'm drawn to this cloud, I guess, if you will. So it's almost like I need to look at it from the lens of Aquarius, which I'm trying not to bring so much astrology into this, just because, like, this is tarot, this is not astrology. But when I'm given stuff like this, and when I notice things like this, it's like I cannot help but to bring it up. Okay, let's just go step by step here. So, as far as the next couple of weeks go, like I was saying, I get this, it kind of goes with my story of my walk, which makes sense. I feel like this is the polite people, I guess you'd call group one. This is, the Three of Cups. You have, it's this kind of camaraderie, togetherness, celebration. It's the flow of emotion. And then you have, I'm just really immediately drawn to this card. So the Nine of Wands upright is like, at least with this card, I'm really drawn to how it looks like a fence, but you're not sure how strong it is. And reverse, it's almost like, God, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I just keep getting drawn to the sky area. Just so weird. I've never picked up on this before, and I've owned another deck of this. And usually with the Nine of Wands, I'm more just like, can this kind of beach fence stand up to the incoming tide? And I'm not even really drawn to that. Like, I'm just sky. I don't know. This is just so bizarre. Okay, well, I'm gonna just go with it. So, the Nine of Wands reversed for me is like, it's usually the fence coming down, or it's the aftermath of the fence coming down because it couldn't withstand it. It's because the 9 in the tarot is like the the ending, or it's leading up to the 10, which is like dead, done, final. So it's like an escalation of sorts. It's interesting that we have the 3 and the 4, and then we have another 4. If like we want to see the numbers going up and in sequence, like that is a good thing. But it's interesting. I think I'm gonna move on. I might come back to that. Something else that I'm really drawn to is the fact that we have very similar colors here, with these cards next to each other. And then it, the colors kind of shift and match with this card, which is just amusing. It's funny how it does that sometimes. So the 4 of Wands, it is also like celebration. I'm really drawn to how the two girls are just having a grand old time. But I don't know, with how this card is illustrated, I don't really get the marriage vibes. I get more of the like Coachella experience, if you will, or like Burning Man. So like reverse would be like, you're having a really bad time at Burning Man. I only bring that up just because of like how I read the sideways cards, is that, it's still that like kind of up in the air kind of feeling, which is even funnier with all the air stuff going on here, with me being drawn to the skies and the whole Aquarius vibes. And then the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man, the universe puts you in it. It's very similar to the Hermit, but you yourself put yourself as the Hermit. Like, you go into the cave, you go into hermit mode. Whereas, like I said, the universe puts you in the Hangman, because like you don't, in the traditional deck, you can't just put yourself up in the tree and be hanging upside down. Usually how I like to see this is like you're trying to gain a new perspective. With the reverse, I can get like a couple of things off of this. It's like you're either have been stuck in the Hangman for too long, or you're trying to come out of it, but either way, you need to come out of Hangman. Yeah, this is really interesting. Hold on. That's interesting. I've noticed the kind of bracelet strands and whatnot here on the card, and how tight that looks on her. And it made me go back to the Four of Pentacles, which, I mean, look how tightly she's holding that coin purse of Pentacles here, which a more book version, I guess, reading of the Four of Pentacles would be, you holding so tightly to something, like you need to let go. So it's still interesting that even though I'm looking here, I'm still drawn to these clouds. I don't know what it is. I think if I keep going, I'll be able to figure it out. I'm gonna have a little sip of tea here. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. I wanted to clarify, but I want to be careful because when you ask, you just have to be very careful with how you specify, because, if I say just like, we're going to clarify on all the air stuff, then I'm just going to give an air reading, and I don't want to do that. Or I'm going to, give an air quality report. So I'm trying to figure out how to word it and also get like another perspective on it, if you will. So I might just do like a classic clarifier question that I like to use, which is, what are you really trying to tell me? And that usually straightens up everything. So I think I'm gonna do that. And that I picked this deck up, and I feel like that's the right thing. Like, yep, we're in air season. So, oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I'm gonna just ask that question. What do you really want to tell me? What do my viewers actually need to know for their mid-month coming up? That doesn't feel right. Normally I like to do 3 bridge shuffles, but I don't know, I felt like I had to do 6 for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah. Now it feels ready to do the overhand shuffle that I like to do. And this is the plastic deck, so it has a whole different sound than the traditional deck. Okay, thank you. I don't know if you saw that, but it just popped out the side. So we got that guy. I feel like there's another one that needs to come out. And that makes 2, so I feel like generally the universe likes 3s. I do feel like there's a 3rd. But the card on the top feels hot, so I'm going to take that one. And, oh, that's funny. The bottom of the deck is the 3 of Wands. And that hot top card was Page of Wands. This was the first card to come out, which is the Emperor, which is a 4. Man, the 3s and the 4s I mentioned earlier, what in the world? And then we have the Queen of Cups and the Page of Wands reverse. So, interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm just taking it all in. I'm immediately really drawn to, holy moly, this almost color match of a blue sky we have here. And even parts of this one. That feels very important. And even we have a little bit of a color match here with the kind of red and yellow making that kind of orange. I don't know if you can see it there. So the general feeling I'm getting off of this is I feel like it's going more towards about that second group that I talked about. I don't know, for whatever reason, the Emperor just feels very, very direct. I'm not normally drawn to how he's just staring at me, if you will. That's really what I'm drawn to, is just how he's just staring. Which is definitely how I felt on my walk with the ladies giving off that like jealous or envy feelings. It was just how they just, did the stare right in the eye of like, that's my man. Like I'm not trying anything. I'm just on my walk with my earbuds in and sunglasses on. Like that is the general scenario of leave me alone. I'm not wanting attention. Go away. Why are you jealous? Definitely also get this kind of, I don't know, this like, I'm trying to think how to phrase without just being a string of curse words. But like not a great person, like, I don't know. I just get like very like entitled and very up in their I guess, yeah, you'd say like up in their ego and just yeah. So we got that person, and then we have the Queen of Cups, which is a very interesting combination here, because I don't know. It's one of those combinations like you wouldn't think that they'd be together. I don't know why I'm saying that they would be together. I'm just trying to go with whatever is here. This is it's not normal for me to be like at this much of a loss for words, so just go with me going with it. I guess is what I'm trying to say as a side note here. But I find, for whatever reason, it's like these two are together and you'd see them as a couple and you just be like, how the hell did he get her? And why is she with him? Like, what did she see in like that asshole? Is truly what I get the feeling off of this. Now, I generally don't like to bring gender into it because gender doesn't matter, but just for the sake of reading the cards, it is the Queen of Cups has a woman on this card, and so that's why I'm bringing up, she and woman, and then the, Emperor is a man on this card. So, like, in my scenario today while I was walking, the person who had the Emperor feelings in this scenario would be the wife or the female partner that I was running into several times on my walk, with the jealous, like, staring like daggers at me. And then the husband or the child or the partner or whomever would be the Queen of Cups energy. And then Oh my goodness. Oh, that is even funnier. Okay. I'm just going to tell you what immediately just came to mind. Um, we got this page of wands reversed third wheeling this scenario, which definitely fit with some of the groups of people I passed on my walk. Um, for some of them, it was just like, what is this scenario? I don't want to ask about what's going on in your love life, but maybe don't throw stones in your glass house here. Um, I'm literally just on my walk. So for the Page of Wands, I find that it's usually like a new adventure. It's like this very youthful, wants to get out and into the world and experience new things. It can also be kind of like that, not like a full-blown player energy, more like I'll say it, and it's more like fuckboy energy, but like reverse. It's like I would almost say it's more of like this weird. I don't know if weird's the right word. It's the only phrase that keeps coming to mind is like emo fuckboy, or like, you know, one that does one thing and then says another. That classic. It's interesting that the Three of Wands came out because that's also kind of that similar striking out on a new adventure kind of feeling, but it's, the minor arcana. It's not even a court card. So, very interesting. Now I'm regretting not bringing up how I was also drawn to this yellow here, and then we have this yellow here. I bring up the colors because it is another way that you can read the cards. There is a lot of meaning behind the different colors, not just with color theory and color design, but also from a spiritual aspect, whether it's with the chakras or other things, is that you can glean more meanings in that way. So I feel like with this clarifier, it's pretty much just reaffirming like what I was already telling you. So it's almost like, depending upon which of these groups on my walk, who knew that my walk was going to turn into a reading today? It's like they could have a good marriage or a marriage. They might need a little bit of perspective to actually be able to be in a healthy relationship, or maybe they need the perspective of, that whole thing of the grass is greener. People sometimes don't know what they want until they lose it, or they don't know what they have until they lose it, sort of thing. You don't have the full story with other people's lives. Everything may seem to be rainbows and unicorns and roses, but it all could just be a facade that could easily come crumbling down, like the crappy fence we got here on the beach. It could just take one tide coming in and the fence could all just come down. The facade could all come tumbling down. So something I like to say, instead of, the grass is greener type of thing, is on the other side, or however it goes, is that instead the grass is greener where it's watered. So, taking care of your relationships, expressing yourself, your needs, your boundaries, all of that good stuff can help foster good relationships and having better relationships with people. Surprised some of the stuff that I talked about earlier didn't come out, but I almost feel like it really wanted to talk about the walk thing because, goodness, I think it was at least 3 different family groups where I had this scenario play out of the jealous mother or wife or partner. So I was like, okay, I need to just keep that in mind. I feel like as far as the month, like the remaining rest of the month would be, it's just be aware of the people around you, and everything may not be as it seems. With me emphasizing on communication, which is very much an air thing, I would definitely say that sometimes, actually a lot of times it's better to not assume and maybe just ask the question instead of assuming and then doing the thing and then it turning out that like you then will have a fight later with your friends or whomever. I definitely want to do a moon card here. I feel like that should be enough just for until the end of February. Now, of course, if you come across this video not during February, you can definitely still watch it. It might still be applicable, just because, I mean, I've given messages and readings to people months ahead of time, and then they were like, oh. So, truly, like, take it whenever you come across it. And I feel like that applies with just about any reading, is that, if you come across something, especially if it's really old and the title really resonates with you, you don't have to watch it, but strongly recommend it. I feel like if I do the overhand shuffle, I'm not gonna find it, like it's not gonna pop out, because these cards are really picky. Nope. It is. It's that one. I go by feel through the deck, and maybe one day I'll explain what I'm doing when I'm doing that, but it's weird. That is a very nice card. New Moon in Virgo. Trust all will be well. Okay. I'm going to look at the book here, see what goes with that. Oh, this is really good. Okay. Sometimes we want everything to happen yesterday, but divine timing is a real thing, which ties back into our hangman here. Sometimes we need more pieces of a jigsaw to fall into place before we can get what we want. Slowing down now is the key for you to get what you want. So take your time and allow events to unfold. I feel like that's a callback to the tea bit that I read earlier at the very beginning of the video. See what you can do for others as a really quick and easy way, both to distract yourself and to boost your good karma while you wait for your dreams to manifest. There's a reason why you pulled this card, so make sure you pay attention. And then here we go. For your manifesting mindset, go out of your way to help someone. Helping boosts karma. Be reliable. Don't overthink things. Be modest. And your affirmation is, I help others and others help me. It's very interesting how that all like really tied back. I feel like I'm being called to pull one of these really quick, and then I think that will wrap it up. Okay. What message should I leave with my viewers to wrap this all up? Okay. Like I said earlier, the universe really likes threes, so here are 3 cards. And okay, I'm going to do something very interesting. So, if you feel like you are drawn to this card, we're going to do this affirmation. If you feel more like these 2 cards where we have the Hangman and the Four of Wands, it's going to be this guy. And then if you are more drawn to this and the saga that played out today in my walk, we're going to do this affirmation. Let's just roll with it. So for the 3 of Cups, pretty purple card here, your affirmation is, I work to be mindful throughout the day, continuing to come back to my center. And then for the in-between flip-floppy cards, we got, what if things go better than I expect? Which kind of ties into the whole, the grass is greener where you water it bit. And then for our 9 of Wands reversed and the, jealousy shenanigans, I don't know what else to call it, we got... Oh man, okay. I can create and maintain boundaries without losing love. So there you go. I realize I am catching a crazy big glare, so I'm going to hold these up so you can see. So that is the Knight of Wands reversed card. Here is our flip-floppy card. And for our 3 of Cups. And that, I feel like, ties also back in with the making tea. All of a sudden, I feel like I need to tell a quick anecdote about coming back to center. Back in college, I threw a lot of pottery on a pottery wheel, and we as in like the different students in the art class and the art teacher, we kind of had this way of saying that we were, out of sorts, if you will, is that we felt off-centered, like we hadn't been centered on the pottery wheel for the day yet. And that was kind of like our way of checking in with the art teacher when we come in during studio hours, and how she would check in with us. Because, sometimes you can just tell that something's off. So, have you centered yourself today? And you can do that so many different ways. But anyway, I hope this is helpful. I might pick up on other things when I do the week ahead and kind of drill down a little bit more specifically. But I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate all the viewers, the likes, the shares, all the subscribers, all of it. If you want, you can comment down below if it resonated or not. I really hoped, you can take away something from this. If not, there's going to be other readings. And, maybe I'm not the reader for you. That's okay. Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day.